Okay, let's take a look at lesson 3 that was presented here in class on Tuesday, November 10th. And lesson 3 focuses all on an excerpt of a speech given by Captain Pratt. So we were first introduced to Captain Pratt when we did our Infer the Topic exercise. He was one of the resources. We're going to spend some more time getting into that some more. So we're going to look at the opening, which is another excerpt from the afterword. And then we're going to do a close read of the Captain Pratt speech with a note catcher. And then there is an independent reading assignment and some chapters. So let's get to it. The entrance ticket identifies our learning targets as I can paraphrase the key ideas and demonstrate understanding of the perspective being conveyed in Pratt's text. And I can analyze Pratt's point of view and how it is conveyed in the text. In the entrance ticket, there is an excerpt here from the afterword. And so I don't want to take the time to read that excerpt because that will cut my time later. But read that excerpt that Joseph Brucock wrote and included after the story, Two Roads, and notice some of the strong language there. A couple of things I want to point out. This last paragraph. The objective of such schools was not just to educate Native Americans. It was to solve what the government called the Indian problem. Rather than continuing to fight expensive Indian wars, fought again and again because Native Americans stubbornly refused to give up their lands, schools could be used to assimilate and acculturate. As Richard Henry Pratt, founder of Carlisle, put it, kill the Indian and save the man. In other words, cultural genocide. So Brucock tells us that Shalagi Indian Boarding School in the story is fictitious. However, it is based on a school that was in Oklahoma called the Chilocco Indian Agricultural School. Some strong language here in what the plan was. They were tired of fighting, so instead they're like, let's just put them in school, get rid of their culture, language, make them more like us, basically cultural genocide. We're going to get rid of the culture altogether. All right, then we got into the Captain Pratt speech excerpt itself. There is a video here that I encourage you to watch. After watching this video, where you are going to learn about the goals of today's lesson, some of the language, and then get a first reading of the speech excerpt itself, you're going to come in and answer one of these questions in the discussion below. So after you have watched the video, what are the key ideas in the excerpt? What point of view toward the boarding schools is being conveyed in the excerpt? What words and ideas from the excerpt help you determine that point of view? Choose a word with a strong connotation. Explain how the word's connotation reveals the author's point of view, and how does this excerpt add to our understanding of the topic? We will be answering these same questions multiple times today and multiple times over the next couple weeks in various texts. So you're going to choose just one of those to give a quick answer in the discussion box below. Then we're going to get to the big part of today's assignment. Okay, you are going to click here to make a copy of the Analyze Point of View Captain Pratt Note-catcher that looks like this. After listening, I read aloud the speech excerpt again. And after listening, we discussed what we heard in that read aloud of the speech excerpt to answer these questions. So by listening, we identified that the key ideas were that Pratt hates Indians and wanted to kill the Indian culture. His point of view, toward boarding schools, he supports the boarding schools and thinks that they're a smart solution. Words and ideas that help you determine that. He said, I agree, kill the Indian and save the man. Choose a word with a strong connotation. We listed some words with strong connotations: assimilate, kill, savage, dead, massacre. And then how does this excerpt add to our understanding? It gives us insight into why the government created and supported them. You are then going to make a copy of the speech and go back and answer the questions on the right-hand column under Read, providing text evidence, and then support the note.